And 20 things from the 1990s. Once necessary, now completely useless. The 90s were packed with iconic trends and gadgets we thought we'd never live without. But now, many of those must-haves are collecting dust. Want to know which 90s essentials are now totally useless? Let's take a trip down memory lane and discover 20 things that have faded into obsolescence. Beepers. In the 1990s, beepers, also known as pagers, were the go-to device for staying connected, especially for people who needed to be reachable at all times. Unlike today's smartphones with their endless features, pagers were simple gadgets. They didn't have screens for browsing or apps to download. Instead, they were designed for one basic function: to alert you that someone was trying to contact you. A pager would buzz or vibrate to let you know you had a message. Sometimes it was just a phone number you needed to call back. Other times, it might be a short text or a code to tell you where to find the person. When you got a page, it was time to find a phone, often a payphone on the corner, or a landline at home or work. In a way, it created a bit of a treasure hunt as you'd track down a phone to return the call. While it wasn't as convenient as having a cell phone in your pocket, it gave you the ability to stay in touch when you were away from a traditional phone. But as mobile technology advanced, cell phones quickly took over, offering not just messaging but full communication in the palm of your hand. Pagers began to fade into history, becoming a relic of an era before we were all connected 24/7 by the smartphones we carry around today. Handheld consoles. With their bulky design, tiny screens, and chunky buttons, they were far from sleek, but they brought gaming to places it had never gone before. The Game Boy's monochrome display may seem basic by today's standards, but it was revolutionary back then. It allowed people to take their games anywhere, on long trips, during commutes, or just while hanging out. Games like Tetris, Super Mario, and Pokémon became cultural icons, with Tetris's addictive simplicity and Pokémon's massive global influence. The Game Boy was more than just a console. It was a part of the 90s gaming boom. Dial-up modems. The screeching, static-filled sound they made as they connected became a symbol of the online world opening up, even though it felt like it took forever. These modems worked by turning digital data into audio signals, which, at the time, was a revolutionary way to get online, though it often felt like navigating the web at a snail's pace. If you wanted to browse the internet, you had to sacrifice your phone line, meaning no one could make or receive calls while you were online. As slow as it was, dial-up was a game changer, letting people connect to the web, check emails, and explore the vast, unknown world of websites. But today, dial-up modems are nothing more than relics of the past, replaced by lightning-fast fiber and wireless connections that make those slow connections seem like a distant memory. Window air conditioning units. Before central air became the norm, window air conditioning units were a summertime essential. They were bulky, loud, and often seemed to rattle as they tried to cool down a room. But for many, they were a lifeline during hot summer days. The buzzing hum of the unit was a familiar soundtrack to the heat, and you could always count on it to bring some relief, even if it meant dealing with a noisy background hum. Window AC units were often installed in the window, taking up space and blocking part of the view, but they did the job, offering a cool escape from the sweltering heat. Today, central air and quieter portable units have mostly replaced them, offering more efficient and less intrusive cooling solutions. Keychain Organizers. Compact and convenient, they offered a small yet efficient way to keep your keys, IDs, and other essentials neatly tucked away. With everything from key rings to tiny compartments, they were perfect for people on the go, helping keep things from getting lost in your bag or pockets. But as smartphones took over, the need for these tiny organizers faded. With the rise of digital wallets, contact apps, and keyless entry systems, smartphones quickly became the one-stop solution for managing our daily essentials. While keychain organizers were handy for carrying physical items, they couldn't keep up with the digital revolution. Portable CD players. Clunky and bulky, these devices allowed people to carry around their favorite albums on a compact disc, giving them the freedom to listen to music anywhere. It was a major step up from cassette tapes, offering clearer sound and a more reliable listening experience. If you had one of these, you were definitely on the cutting edge of music technology at the time. But today, portable CD players are pretty much obsolete. With the rise of streaming services and the all-in-one convenience of smartphones, the need for a physical music player has vanished. You can now access millions of songs instantly from your phone, making those old CD players feel like relics from a bygone era. While they had their moment, they've been replaced by the ease and speed of digital music. What was your absolute favorite 90s gadget that you wish was still around today? The original Game Boy, Nokia 3310, Sony Walkman, other. Please leave your answer in the comments below. Camcorders. In the 1990s, camcorders were the go-to devices for capturing family memories. These bulky gadgets were a big deal at the time, allowing people to record special moments like birthdays, vacations, and holidays. You'd pop in a tape, hit record, and try your best to steady the camera as you captured hours of shaky footage. Despite their size and weight, camcorders offered a level of convenience for home video that was revolutionary back then. With a phone in your pocket, you can now record high-quality videos with just a tap. No more lugging around heavy equipment or worrying about tapes. Smartphones do it all, making those old camcorders seem like relics of the past. Disposable cameras. In the 90s, disposable cameras were the go-to tool for capturing life's spontaneous moments. They were affordable, simple to use, and perfect for events like parties, vacations, or school trips. With a few quick clicks, you could snap pictures without worrying about film development, though you did have to wait a bit before you could see the results. It was a fun, hands-on experience, and the thrill of picking up your developed photos was part of the charm. But today, disposable cameras have been mostly replaced by smartphones. With just a tap, you can capture high-quality images and instantly view or share them with friends. The convenience and instant gratification of modern technology have made these single-use cameras feel like relics from a pre-digital era. Portable CD Walkman. The portable CD Walkman was a must-have gadget in the 90s, offering a way to enjoy your favorite music on the go. Compact yet bulky, it had a disc tray that popped open, ready to play any CD you threw in. The Walkman's skip protection was a major innovation at the time, designed to minimize interruptions in your music as you moved around. But even with that feature, skipping tracks was still a common issue, especially if you jogged or walked too briskly. The sound quality was impressive for its era, offering clear, crisp audio that was a big step up from earlier portable music players. However, the Walkman had its downsides. It ate up AA batteries quickly, and carrying around a stack of CDs was cumbersome, making it less practical than modern solutions. Looking back, it's hard to imagine a time when hauling a Walkman and a few CDs around was considered cutting edge, but it was the pinnacle of portable music at the time. Original Sonicare toothbrushes. In the 1990s, the original Sonicare toothbrushes were marketed as a game-changer in oral hygiene. They introduced sonic vibrations, promising a deeper clean than traditional manual brushes. The idea of vibrating technology to remove plaque and promote healthier gums was revolutionary at the time, and it quickly gained attention as a cutting-edge product. However, these early models were bulky, expensive, and a bit tricky to handle, especially for those not used to the buzzing sensation in their mouths. Despite the excitement around their innovation, The first Sonicare toothbrushes were far from perfect. The large design and steep price tag made them less accessible for many, and the technology was still evolving. Today, as dental care technology has advanced, those original Sonicare models seem like outdated relics. Modern electric toothbrushes are smaller, more efficient, and much more affordable, making the bulky, expensive versions of the past feel like a distant memory. Karaoke machines. Karaoke machines in the 90s sparked a whole new era of living room pop stars. Equipped with wired microphones and a screen to display lyrics, these machines made it easy for anyone to grab the mic and belt out their favorite tunes. Whether at a party, family gathering, or just a fun night at home, karaoke brought people together for hours of entertainment. But as streaming platforms and smartphone apps became more popular, the classic karaoke machine began to fade. Now, with apps offering access to thousands of songs and lyrics on demand, it's easier than ever to have a karaoke session without bulky machines. Typewriter keyboards. These classic machines, with their sturdy keys and satisfying clicks, were essential for creating everything from letters to reports. Their design was simple yet reliable, but using them required a bit of effort, pressing each key with purpose, especially when writing long documents. There was something satisfying about the rhythm of typing away on a typewriter, despite the physical effort involved. Computers, laptops, and touchscreen devices have completely transformed how we write and work. The fast, effortless typing on modern keyboards is a far cry from the clunky, mechanical effort of typewriter keys. Did you ever own any of these items? Which one did you use the most? Tamagotchi. These tiny, pixelated virtual pets hung from keychains and demanded constant care, attention, and affection. With just a few buttons, you could feed, clean, and play with your digital pet to ensure its well-being. The catch? If you ignored it for too long, your Tamagotchi would get sick, or worse, die, which created a mix of fun and stress for users. Tamagotchis became a cultural phenomenon, with kids everywhere checking their pets at every moment, making sure they stayed healthy and happy. Their high-maintenance appeal was a big part of their charm, yet that same need for attention eventually became a little too much for some. Today, while Tamagotchis are no longer the must-have gadgets they once were, they remain a nostalgic relic of the 90s. Furby. Furby was the toy that captured the imagination of the late 90s, blending technology with a touch of whimsy. This robotic creature, with its wide eyes, twitching ears, and a fuzzy exterior, responded to touch, voice, and light, making it feel alive. It could even learn and mimic a few simple phrases, delighting and occasionally annoying owners with its interactions. The excitement around Furby was massive, and every household seemed to have one. However, once the craze died down, Furbies were often relegated to forgotten drawers, their batteries drained, and their novelty worn out. Yet, as the years passed, they've made a comeback as quirky collector's items. Today, Furbies are appreciated for their nostalgic charm and are seen as a reminder of a time when toys started to integrate technology in playful, unexpected ways. Dot matrix printers. Dot matrix printers were once the backbone of office printing. These machines had a unique dot printing style, where a print head moved back and forth, striking an inked ribbon to create text and images. They were especially useful for printing multi-part forms, like invoices or receipts, where you needed to create multiple copies at once. The sound of the printer, with its constant tapping of the print head, became a familiar office soundtrack. Despite their reliability and efficiency, dot matrix printers have been largely replaced by more advanced technologies like inkjet and laser printers. These newer models offer faster printing speeds, higher quality outputs, and quieter operation. As a result, dot matrix printers have mostly faded into the background, remembered fondly by those who used them. PalmPilot. Compact and sleek, it fit right in your pocket and offered a digital address book, calendar, and note-taking functions, all controlled by a tiny stylus. It was a game-changer for anyone needing to stay organized on the go, replacing bulky paper planners and address books with a simple electronic alternative. At the time, it felt like cutting-edge technology, allowing users to carry their essential information in a compact, efficient device. However, as smartphones evolved, they quickly absorbed and vastly expanded on the PalmPilot's features, integrating apps, internet access, cameras, and much more, making the PalmPilot seem almost laughably basic by today's standards. Bagged salad kits. They offered pre-washed lettuce, toppings, and dressings, all in one convenient package, saving time and effort for busy people looking for a quick, healthy option. These kits were a staple in grocery stores, providing a simple way to add greens to any meal without the hassle of washing and chopping. However, as people began to focus more on fresh, customizable ingredients and the growing concern over plastic waste, bagged salad kits started to lose their appeal. Consumers became more conscious of the environmental impact of single-use plastic packaging and shifted toward bulkier, less wasteful options. Today, while bagged salad kits are still available, they've largely fallen out of favor in favor of fresh produce and more eco-friendly alternatives, reflecting a shift in both dietary preferences and sustainability efforts. Blockbuster membership cards. Blockbuster membership cards were once a golden ticket to movie night, offering access to a vast selection of VHS tapes and DVDs. With their iconic blue and yellow design, these cards were a symbol of weekend plans, where families and friends would head to their local Blockbuster to browse the aisles for the perfect film. The experience of picking out movies, checking out the new releases, and sometimes even getting caught in a late fee was part of the charm. But with the rise of digital streaming services, the ritual of browsing physical aisles became obsolete. Why leave the house when you could instantly stream movies on demand? Today, those Blockbuster cards are no longer needed and have become nostalgic souvenirs of a bygone era. Personal mixtapes. Personal mixtapes were a staple of 90s music culture, offering a way to share your favorite songs with friends or express your feelings through carefully curated tracks. You'd spend hours recording songs onto cassette tapes, painstakingly selecting each track to create the perfect soundtrack for a moment, relationship, or memory. These mixtapes became tangible, sentimental keepsakes that you could listen to over and over, rewinding to relive a favorite song or feeling. In a world dominated by digital playlists, mixtapes seem almost like a lost art. Today, streaming services let us easily create and share playlists with a few taps. But there's something special about the effort and personal touch that went into making a mixtape. It wasn't just about the music, it was about sharing a piece of yourself. If you could bring one of these 90s relics back, which would it be and why? MiniDiscs. MiniDiscs were the 90s attempt to revolutionize music storage, offering a compact digital alternative to cassettes and CDs. These small, transparent discs promised high-quality audio and the convenience of re-recording tracks, which was a huge selling point at the time. Their sleek design and the promise of portability made them seem like the future of music technology. However, MiniDiscs couldn't quite live up to their potential. While they were popular in Japan, they struggled to gain traction globally. As CDs continued to dominate and MP3s began to offer digital music without the need for physical discs, MiniDiscs quickly became obsolete. Despite their short-lived promise, they remain a nostalgic piece of 90s tech, a reminder of how the digital music landscape evolved so rapidly. Beeper watch. It was a small, discrete device that allowed you to receive messages and notifications on your wrist, giving it a futuristic feel at the time. It was especially popular with professionals and tech enthusiasts who wanted to stay connected without having to carry around a bulky pager. However, the beeper watch quickly became obsolete with the rise of smartphones. As these all-in-one devices became more affordable and widely available, they took over the functions of the pager, the watch, and much more. The beeper watch, once a symbol of cutting-edge tech, couldn't keep up with the smartphone revolution and faded into obscurity. Metal lunchboxes. Metal lunchboxes were the epitome of cool in the 90s, decorated with vibrant designs featuring everything from popular cartoons to rock bands. They were sturdy and built to last, carrying not just your lunch, but your personality. Carrying a metal lunchbox to school was almost a status symbol, a way to show off your favorite characters or interests. However, while these lunchboxes had the charm of durability, they lacked insulation, which made them impractical for keeping food at the right temperature. As insulated bags and plastic containers with built-in cooling compartments became more common, metal lunchboxes slowly faded into the background. Today, they live on as nostalgic pieces of childhood, evoking memories of simpler times. Although no longer a practical option for keeping lunch fresh, metal lunchboxes have become cherished collectibles, with many people holding on to theirs as a fond reminder of the past. Original Game Boy. With its chunky, brick-like design, it wasn't the sleekest device, but it packed a punch in the gaming world. Its monochrome screen, basic by today's standards, was revolutionary at the time. It gave players the ability to enjoy games like Tetris and Pokémon anywhere, whether on a long car ride or during school lunch breaks. These games became cultural icons, and the Game Boy itself became synonymous with handheld gaming. While the Game Boy felt cutting edge in the 90s, it's hard to imagine today. With the rise of smartphones, which offer powerful processors, vivid displays, and access to countless apps and games, handheld consoles like the Game Boy have become largely obsolete. Rollerblades. In the 90s, rollerblades were the ultimate expression of outdoor fun and freedom. Their sleek design and smooth wheels made them perfect for gliding through neighborhoods at high speed, offering a rush of adrenaline that was hard to beat. Whether you were cruising down the street or showing off tricks, rollerblades were everywhere. They quickly became a cultural staple, and the phrase "going rollerblading" was synonymous with a fun day out. However, as time passed and trends shifted, rollerblades slowly faded from the scene. Skateboards, scooters, and later more extreme sports took over as the go-to activity for thrill seekers. While they're not as popular today, rollerblades remain a nostalgic symbol of 90s youth culture, an era where the streets were filled with kids speeding by, enjoying the wind in their hair. VHS tapes. VHS tapes were the go-to medium for home entertainment in the 80s and 90s. These bulky cassettes stored everything from blockbuster movies to TV shows, and renting or buying VHS tapes was a weekend ritual for many families. The thrill of getting a new release and popping it into the VCR for a night of movie magic was a staple of home life. But as the digital age took over, VHS quickly became obsolete. DVDs, Blu-rays, and eventually streaming services offered more convenience, better picture quality, and faster access to content. VHS tapes, with their tendency to degrade over time and the risk of tape jams, just couldn't keep up. Today, VHS is a relic of the past, often found gathering dust in basements or sold at thrift stores, but still holding a special place in the hearts of those who remember the pre-digital era of home viewing. Physical maps and atlases. Before the convenience of GPS and smartphones, physical maps and atlases were essential for navigating the world. Whether you were plotting a cross-country road trip or trying to find your way to a new location, unfolding a giant road map became a rite of passage. There was something satisfying about holding a paper map, tracing your route with your finger, and getting a tactile sense of the journey ahead. But with the advent of digital navigation on smartphones, physical maps have almost vanished. GPS systems now provide real-time updates, turn-by-turn directions, and traffic alerts, making paper maps a nostalgic relic of the past. Polaroid Instant Film. Polaroid Instant Film was once the ultimate way to capture memories in an instant. The bulky camera, with its satisfying click and the whirring sound of the flash, made each photo feel special. After snapping a picture, you'd wait eagerly as the photo slowly developed right before your eyes. An experience that was both magical and personal. It wasn't just about the image. It was the process, the excitement of watching your moments come to life. In the 80s and 90s, Polaroid cameras were the go-to for parties, vacations, and family gatherings. The instant gratification of holding a physical photo moments after taking it was a unique pleasure that digital photos couldn't replicate at the time. Today, while Polaroid is still around and instant film has found a niche market, it's more of a novelty than a necessity. With smartphones offering instant digital photos and editing tools, the once ubiquitous Polaroid has become a nostalgic reminder of a time when pictures weren't just digital, they were tangible memories captured in the blink of an eye. Beanie Babies. These plush toys, filled with pellets and complete with their own birth certificates, were marketed as both collectibles and potential investments. Each Beanie Baby had its own name, backstory, and unique design, which made them feel personal and special. With the promise of becoming valuable over time, collectors raced to grab rare editions, convinced they would one day be worth a fortune. For a while, Beanie Babies were everywhere, on shelves in stores, in homes, and even on the trading market. People hunted for limited editions and sought to complete their collections. However, as the craze faded, most of the toys didn't become the financial windfall many had hoped for. Instead, they became a nostalgic reminder of a time when collectible trends gripped the nation. Cereal box toys. Cereal box toys were once a magical part of every breakfast. You'd pour your bowl of cereal, and there it was, hidden at the bottom of the box, waiting to be discovered. The thrill of finding tiny action figures, stickers, or other surprises was an exciting start to the day. Kids would eagerly dig through their cereal, hoping to find the latest collectible or limited edition prize, making breakfast feel like a treasure hunt. These toys weren't just fun, they were also a big marketing tool. Popular characters and themed promotions made them irresistible, creating a special bond between the product and the kids who ate it. Over time, though, these toys slowly disappeared as companies shifted their focus to digital promotions, offering incentives tied to apps or online games instead. Today, the cereal box toy is mostly a nostalgic memory, replaced by QR codes and digital content that no longer carries the same physical excitement or surprise. Soda can pull tabs. Soda can pull tabs were once the go-to method for cracking open a refreshing drink. The small metal tab would be pulled back, creating a satisfying pop as you opened the can. It was a simple, convenient design, but it had its flaws. Most notably, the sharp edge left behind once the tab was pulled off. It wasn't uncommon to find yourself with a cut finger, or worse, the tab itself could get lost and cause a mess. Despite these issues, the pull tab became a familiar part of soda cans for decades. But as concerns over safety grew, manufacturers began to phase them out in favor of the modern stay-on tab. These new tabs are more secure and safer, ensuring the tab stays attached and can't be discarded or cause harm. 20 forgotten TV shows from the 1980s. The 80s were packed with unforgettable TV moments. Knight Rider, ALF, and the A-Team kept us on the edge of our seats. But what about those hidden gems that have faded into the background? In this video, we're diving into 20 forgotten 80s TV shows that left a mark on our childhoods, even if we don't talk about them much anymore. Automan. What if your computer could bring a superhero to life? That's the futuristic dream Automan delivered. The series followed Walter Nebusher, a tech-savvy police officer who wasn't much of a field guy, but had a knack for programming. Enter Automan, a cutting-edge holographic creation designed to fight crime. But this wasn't your average projection. Automan could step into the real world, wield incredible strength, and even conjure dazzling vehicles like a glowing sports car or helicopter at the flick of a pixel, all thanks to his energetic companion, Cursor. Automan was a perfect blend of 80s tech obsession and superhero fantasy. The show's special effects, like Automan's glowing suit and his futuristic vehicles, were groundbreaking for the time, captivating viewers with a glimpse into what technology might someday achieve. Cursor, the mischievous, glowing sidekick, added a playful element, charming audiences as much as the high-tech action did. Unfortunately, despite its innovative premise, Automan was ahead of its time in more ways than one. The high cost of its state-of-the-art effects led to its cancellation after just one season. Still, for fans who tuned in, Automan remains a shining example of 80s optimism about technology, capturing imaginations with its vision of a digital hero in a crime-filled world. Tales of the Gold Monkey. Tales of the Gold Monkey was an adventure-packed series that captured the spirit of 80s action films like Indiana Jones, blending exotic locations, treasure hunts, and high-stakes drama. Set in the late 1930s in the South Pacific, it followed Jake Cutter, a former Flying Tigers pilot turned seaplane charter operator, as he got caught up in thrilling missions filled with spies, mysterious artifacts, and perilous adventures. Alongside Jake were his loyal dog, Jack, a one-eyed mechanic named Corky, and the mysterious lounge singer Sarah, each adding their own flair to the show. What made Tales of the Gold Monkey so captivating was its mix of adventure, humor, and heart. Despite only lasting one season, the show made a lasting impression with its charming characters, fun escapades, and the sense of adventure that kept viewers hooked. Though it didn't achieve mainstream success, it has since become a beloved cult classic for fans who still fondly remember the series. Kids Incorporated. Kids Incorporated was a beloved 80s TV show that combined catchy tunes, youthful energy, and relatable drama. Set in a club where a group of talented kids formed a band, the show blended music with coming-of-age stories, making it a hit for young viewers. Each episode featured performances of contemporary pop songs, giving it a music video vibe that resonated with audiences at the time. What truly made Kids Incorporated stand out was its emphasis on music, as the kids not only sang, but also navigated the ups and downs of growing up, making the show both entertaining and relatable. Running for nearly a decade, Kids Incorporated became a pop culture staple, launching the careers of future stars like Fergie and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Its catchy tunes and heartwarming storylines made it an unforgettable part of 80s TV. Danger Bay. Danger Bay was a standout 80s series that blended adventure with environmental consciousness. Set against the breathtaking backdrop of Vancouver, the show followed Dr. Grant "Doc" Roberts, a marine veterinarian biologist at the Vancouver Aquarium, and his two children, Nicole and Jonah, as they navigated both family dynamics and wildlife conservation challenges. What made Danger Bay unique was its focus on educating viewers about marine life, conservation, and the importance of protecting the environment, all while delivering engaging adventures. It addressed real-world issues such as pollution and endangered species, in an entertaining way that resonated with both kids and teens. The show ran for 6 seasons, a notable achievement for an educational drama, and became a beloved part of 80s TV. Turbo Teen. Turbo Teen was one of those wild 80s concepts that had kids hooked, even if it seemed a bit out there. The show followed Brett Matthews, a teenager who, after a freak accident with a high-tech government experiment, found himself with the bizarre ability to transform into a red sports car whenever he got too hot. It was the kind of quirky superhero premise that only the 80s could deliver. Part action, part humor, and a whole lot of weird transformation sequences. As a sports car, Brett could race at incredible speeds, but his human side struggled with the awkwardness of his new abilities. Despite the unique premise, Turbo Teen only ran for 13 episodes. The show's combination of fast-paced action and offbeat humor made it a memorable part of 80s cartoon history, even if it didn't quite have the staying power of some other series from that era. Nonetheless, Turbo Teen remains a fun, nostalgic gem for those who remember it. The Greatest American Hero. In the 80s, there were plenty of big-name TV shows, but some didn't have long runs, but still made their mark. One of those was The Greatest American Hero. It told the story of Ralph Hinckley, an everyday high school teacher who unexpectedly gets an alien superhero suit, giving him powers he could barely understand. But there was a catch. Ralph lost the instruction manual. And that's where the fun began. We watched Ralph fumble through flying mishaps and awkward attempts at being a hero. It made him one of the most relatable characters on TV. The magic of the show wasn't just the comedy, though. It carried a deeper message. Being a hero isn't about being perfect. It's about doing your best, even when things go horribly wrong. And how can we forget the iconic theme song, Believe It or Not? It became a hit and was practically the anthem of the time. Sadly, the show only lasted 3 seasons before it was canceled due to falling ratings, but for those who watched, it left a lasting impression. Interestingly, there was an attempt to bring the show back in the 2000s, though it never gained traction. Despite that, the original The Greatest American Hero still holds a special place in the hearts of 80s TV fans. Sectors. Sectaires, Warriors of Symbion was a unique blend of science fiction and fantasy, offering an exciting adventure set on the alien planet of Symbion. On this world, humans had evolved to bond with giant mutant insects, creating a fascinating premise that mixed epic battles with insect-inspired warriors. The show followed Prince Dargon and his band of brave warriors as they fought against the evil General Spidrax and his insect army, battling for control of Symbion. What set Sectors apart was its imaginative world-building and its mix of both sci-fi and fantasy elements, along with action-packed storytelling. The show's intricate designs, particularly of the insect characters and vehicles, captured the imagination of its dedicated fan base. Unfortunately, despite its potential, Sectors only aired for 1 season, with just 5 episodes, leaving fans wanting more. Still, it remains a cult favorite for those who remember it. The Phoenix. In the 80s, the idea of a man from another world waking up on Earth with incredible powers was a captivating concept, and the Phoenix brought that fantasy to life. The show centered on Bennu of the Golden Light, an ancient alien who had been in a centuries-long slumber on Earth, only to awaken in modern times with extraordinary abilities. He had telepathy, telekinesis, and the power to heal, making him an enigmatic and powerful figure in a world he barely understood. What made the Phoenix so intriguing was its unique blend of mysticism and science fiction. Bennu's powers were awe-inspiring, but the show also explored themes of ancient knowledge and the potential for humanity to learn from beings far beyond us. There was a sense of adventure as Bennu navigated his new life on Earth, all while trying to understand his mission and purpose. It was a thought-provoking mix that drew in viewers with its compelling premise and the mystery of Bennu's origins. Unfortunately, despite its intriguing concept, the Phoenix never found a large audience. The show lasted only 5 episodes before being canceled due to low ratings. While its run was brief, it left an impression on those who caught it and remains a cult favorite for fans of 80s sci-fi. What was the most memorable moment from these forgotten shows that still sticks with you today? Misfits of science. If quirky science fiction with a comedic twist was your thing, Misfits of Science was a must-watch back in the 80s. This show brought together a ragtag team of outcasts, each with unusual powers, in a way that felt like a lighter, more offbeat take on today's superhero squads. There was Johnny B, who could shoot electricity, and Gloria, who used telekinesis to move objects with her mind. Together, this oddball group tackled bizarre adventures, blending humor with just enough heroics to keep viewers hooked. What made Misfits of Science truly stand out wasn't just the superpowers, it was the characters themselves. The show leaned into its quirky vibe, embracing its weirdness and never taking itself too seriously. That lighthearted charm, combined with great chemistry among the cast, earned the show a devoted cult following, even though it only lasted 1 season. And here's a fun fact for you. Courtney Cox, long before her iconic role on Friends, was part of this ensemble cast. Unfortunately, low ratings led to the show's cancellation, but for those who watched, Misfits of Science remains a hidden gem of 80s TV, a show that wasn't afraid to be different and have a little fun along the way. Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. For fans of epic battles between good and evil, Jace and the Wheeled Warriors was an animated show that offered an exciting ride. The series followed Jace, a brave young hero on a quest to find his father and defeat the sinister Saw Boss. Saw Boss, the villain of the show, commanded an army of sentient plant vehicles known as the Monster Mines, each one a formidable opponent that added to the show's thrilling action. Jace's journey was made even more epic by the help of his loyal team and their incredible transforming vehicles, which could morph into powerful machines to face the challenges of the galaxy. The show combined imaginative world-building with high-energy battles, captivating viewers with its dynamic characters and intense action sequences. Each episode was filled with moments of heroism, camaraderie, and adventure, as Jace and his companions raced against time to save the universe. However, despite its popularity among fans, Jace and the Wheeled Warriors never saw a proper conclusion. The show was canceled before the storyline could be wrapped up, leaving fans hanging. Though it didn't have a resolution, the series remains beloved for its imaginative premise and the thrilling journeys of Jace and his team. MASK. For kids growing up in the 80s, MASK, Mobile Armored Strike Command, was the ultimate blend of everything that made action cartoons great: cool vehicles, high-stakes missions, and intense battles between good and evil. The series followed Matt Tracker and his elite team, MASK, as they took on the evil organization VENOM, Vicious Evil Network of Mayhem, a criminal group bent on chaos and destruction. What really set MASK apart was its focus on incredible, transforming vehicles. Each vehicle had the ability to change into a powerful machine, like a jet, boat, or tank, right before your eyes. But the real twist came from the masks the characters wore. These masks granted special powers that enhanced the team's abilities in combat, making each mission a unique challenge. Despite its popularity, MASK only lasted for 2 seasons, eventually fading from the spotlight. But its impact on 80s kids was lasting, with the toys, vehicles, and masks becoming iconic symbols of childhood adventure. Even though the show didn't run long, MASK left a legacy of action, technology, and unforgettable characters that still holds a special place in the hearts of fans. Were any of these shows part of your childhood watch list? Which one would you introduce to a new generation? Small Wonder. This show took a wild concept and turned it into something unforgettable. The story? A robotics engineer secretly builds a robot named VIC, designed to look like a human child, and tries to pass her off as his daughter. Of course, VIC, I wasn't just any kid. She spoke in a stiff, monotone voice and approached everything with pure logic, leading to endless, awkward, and hilarious moments as she navigated life with her human family. Small Wonder wasn't just another sitcom. It was a glimpse into the future through the eyes of the 80s. At a time when robots were capturing everyone's imagination, VICI's adventures stood out. Her superhuman abilities and her efforts to act normal turned every episode into a mix of comedy, curiosity, and unexpected, heartwarming moments. Beneath the laughs, the show explored what it meant to be human, even for someone made of circuits and wires. Critics often poked fun at its campy style and over-the-top acting, but Small Wonder struck a chord with viewers, lasting an impressive 4 seasons. No small feat in a competitive TV landscape. And let's not forget VICI's iconic look. The red dress with the white pinafore, forever etched in the memories of fans who grew up watching her try to fit into a very human world. The Highwayman. If you ever imagined a futuristic cowboy roaming the open highways in a weaponized, high-tech truck, The Highwayman was the show that turned that vision into reality. Set in a near-future America, this series followed the enigmatic Highwayman, a law enforcement agent with an edge. Armed with a state-of-the-art truck packed with advanced gadgets and weaponry, he pursued justice across vast landscapes, chasing down criminals in ways that felt both thrilling and unconventional. The show had an irresistible charm, blending the rugged lone wolf spirit of the Wild West with futuristic technology. The Highwayman himself was a mysterious figure, and his truck was just as much a star as he was. Equipped with everything from advanced surveillance systems to hidden weapons, it added a layer of excitement to every pursuit and confrontation. It was like Mad Max collided with Knight Rider, a bold mix of adventure, tech, and gritty heroics. Despite its unique premise and ambitious storytelling, The Highwayman struggled to connect with a broad audience. Lasting just 1 season and totaling 10 episodes, including the 2-hour pilot, it was short-lived but left a lasting impression on those who tuned in. For fans of high-octane adventure with a futuristic twist, The Highwayman remains a hidden gem of 80s television. Voyagers. If you ever fantasized about jumping through time, Voyagers was the show that turned that dream into an exciting reality. The series followed Phineas Fogg, a charismatic time traveler, and his young companion Jeffrey Jones, as they traveled through history to fix mistakes and ensure key events played out as they were meant to. Their time-hopping adventures were made possible by the Omni, a mysterious device that allowed them to leap from ancient Egypt to the Wild West, encountering famous figures and pivotal moments along the way. What made Voyagers stand out was how it mixed thrilling time travel action with a bit of history lesson. Each episode took viewers to a different time period, where Phineas and Jeffrey had to make sure history stayed on track, while also dodging danger and dealing with quirky situations. It was a fun, educational roller coaster that had something for everyone: adventure, history, and plenty of twists. Unfortunately, despite its creative concept and fun execution, Voyagers only lasted 1 season. One of the main reasons was the high production costs associated with recreating different historical settings each week. While the show didn't last, its impact remains, and for those who watched, it's a nostalgic reminder of just how much fun history could be if you had the chance to live it firsthand. Out of This World. Now let's talk about Out of This World, the show that made every kid dream of having superpowers. Imagine being Evie Garland, a regular teenager. Well, except for the fact that she was half alien. Thanks to her extraterrestrial dad, Evie had some seriously cool abilities, like stopping time with a touch of her fingers, teleporting objects, and even chatting with her dad through a crystal communicator. It was the ultimate fantasy for 80s kids. Superpowers mixed with the relatable struggles of growing up. The magic of Out of This World was in how it combined sci-fi fun with the ups and downs of being a teen. Evie's powers weren't just for show. They often got her into hilarious or heartwarming situations as she tried to juggle her secret abilities with the challenges of school, friendships, and family. The show's charm was in its balance of humor and emotion, making Evie's journey something viewers could connect with. Running for 4 seasons, Out of This World wasn't the biggest hit of the decade, but it left a mark on those who watched it. And let's be honest, who didn't wish they could stop time during an awkward moment? The series ended on an unresolved cliffhanger, leaving fans to wonder what became of Evie and her incredible powers. But for anyone who grew up with it, Out of This World remains a nostalgic gem that blended the extraordinary with the everyday. Riptide. If you loved detective stories with a splash of high-tech flair, Riptide was the show to watch in the 80s. This underrated gem had everything: daring private investigators, a sleek boat, cutting-edge gadgets, and even a charmingly quirky robot named Roboz. The story followed 3 Vietnam veteran buddies, Cody Allen, Nick Ryder, and the brainy Murray Boz Bozinski, as they tackled cases from their floating headquarters, using a mix of street smarts and futuristic technology to outwit criminals. What set Riptide apart was its unique blend of action, humor, and tech. While other detective shows of the era focused on tough guys or flashy cars, Riptide leaned into its innovative gadgetry, giving it a fun and futuristic edge. The dynamic between the 3 leads also added to the charm, with Cody and Nick bringing the brawn and charisma, and Boz providing the brains and comic relief. Though it didn't achieve the widespread fame of hits like Magnum, P.I., Riptide carved out its own niche, lasting for 3 exciting seasons. Its mix of thrilling chases, clever tech, and lighthearted banter earned it a loyal fan base. For those who remember it, Riptide remains a standout example of 80s TV that dared to do things a little differently. The powers of Matthew Starr. Imagine discovering you're not just an ordinary teenager, but an alien prince with telekinetic powers. That's the incredible premise behind the powers of Matthew Starr. This show combined the everyday struggles of high school with the thrilling adventures of intergalactic danger. Matthew Starr, the titular character, wasn't just trying to ace his classes or fit in with his peers. He was also on the run from alien enemies determined to destroy him. Balancing secret powers and teenage life made for a show that captured the imagination of anyone who dreamed of being more than ordinary. What made the powers of Matthew Starr so compelling was its mix of relatable teenage experiences and larger-than-life sci-fi elements. Matthew's powers, from telekinesis to energy blasts, were the stuff of dreams for 80s kids, but his challenges in keeping them hidden grounded the show in a way that resonated with viewers. Adding to the action was his mentor and protector, played by the talented Louis Gossett Jr., who brought depth and gravitas to the storyline. Unfortunately, despite its intriguing concept, the series faced challenges. Production delays, caused in part by an injury to Gossett Jr., and stiff competition led to its cancellation after just one season. Still, for those who tuned in, The Powers of Matthew Star offered a unique blend of teenage wish fulfillment and sci-fi drama, earning it a special place in the lineup of 80s TV curiosities. Please comment 1 to let me know you'll be watching this video until the end. Manimal. Imagine a man who could transform into any animal, a panther, an eagle, or even a snake, at will. That was the fascinating premise of Manimal, a show that brought an extraordinary twist to crime fighting. Dr. Jonathan Chase, the suave and mysterious protagonist, wasn't just a brilliant criminologist. He also had a unique secret. With his incredible ability to morph into animals, he took on criminals in ways no ordinary detective ever could, using both his wits and the powers of the animal kingdom. For its time, Manimal was groundbreaking, particularly with its special effects. Watching Chase's dramatic transformations from human to animal was a highlight, showcasing some of the most ambitious visual effects on TV in the early 80s. The show combined action, mystery, and a touch of the fantastical, capturing the imaginations of viewers who dreamed of such extraordinary powers. Despite its inventive concept and impressive effects, Manimal struggled to find an audience. Lasting only 8 episodes, it was cut short due to low ratings. Yet, in the decades since, it has earned cult status, remembered for its creativity and willingness to push the boundaries of what was possible on television. For fans of 80s TV, Manimal remains a bold and unforgettable piece of pop culture history. Space Academy. Space Academy was a captivating 80s sci-fi series that captured the imagination of kids interested in space exploration. Set in the year 3732, the show followed a diverse group of young cadets at a futuristic school, training the next generation of astronauts and space explorers. Under the leadership of Commander Gampu, these cadets embarked on exciting missions that included encounters with aliens, futuristic gadgets, and cosmic challenges. What made Space Academy special was its combination of space-themed adventures and valuable moral lessons, offering a blend of science fiction with positive messages about teamwork, problem-solving, and ethics. Although the show only lasted 1 season, its imaginative premise, engaging characters, and exploration of space left a lasting impact on those who watched it. The Edison Twins. The Edison Twins was an educational yet entertaining show that captivated young viewers with its blend of science, problem-solving, and adventure. The series followed teenage twins Tom and Annie Edison, along with their younger brother Paul, as they tackled everyday challenges and mysteries using their scientific knowledge and creativity. What set the Edison Twins apart was its unique format. After each adventure, the show would explain the science behind the solutions, turning every episode into an engaging learning experience. Running for 6 seasons, which was impressive for a children's show in the 80s, the Edison Twins became a staple of educational TV, inspiring curiosity about science and critical thinking. The show's combination of practical knowledge and exciting, relatable scenarios made it a favorite among young viewers, leaving a lasting impact on those who watched it. Did I miss any of your favorite 90s relics? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this walk down memory lane, check out more videos in this series. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share Who Remembers with a friend. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.